Thank you very much, Lena, my favorite mermaid of all time. Awesome, good job. I'm not alone anymore, guys. I'm joined by Martin and Andreas. Martin, respectively, from THQ Nordic, and Andreas from Purple Lamp. And we're here to talk about SpongeBob SquarePants, the Cosmic Shake.
Yes, exactly.
Could you show us the Cosmic Shake?
It depends on every person. Like my Cosmic Shake is.
That's your Cosmic Shake?
Yeah, you first cut the vegetables. You cut the vegetables. You put them in there. You put them in there. You salt, and then you stir.
Awesome moves.
Yeah, but the Cosmic Shake is a very personal thing. So everybody should decide for themselves.
Yeah, my
what
Cosmic
is their
Shake is more like a shake it, baby.
More like that?
Yeah.
That kind of
more
thing?
the direction where we're going.
Okay.
Guys, please do the Cosmic Shake at home. We won't see it, but you feel the energy we want to give you here. We have some plans. You said you wanted to greet some people because...
Hello, GG Money 321.
Lots of people are watching right now, and some people you also know are watching right now.
Yes, I just wanted to send all the best wishes and greetings to my friends at Purple Lamp, because I know you're all watching. So this goes to you directly from Gamescom. Please enjoy the stream we're going to have now.
I'm just going to say hello to my wife and children. Hello,
Yeah.
Rafa.
Hello,
Hello,
Mom.
Simon, if you're watching.
Awesome, they're watching as well?
Hopefully.
Cool. It would be sad if not.
They might be out in the mud playing, which is also good.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Playing outside is good. Playing inside is the thing we're talking about now. Or playing underwater, because we're talking about, like I said, SpongeBob SquarePants, the Cosmic Shake. If you got any questions at these two sympathetic guys here, then just ask them in chat and we'll try to answer them as good as possible. When the game releases is the first question that gets asked. And
We saw it coming.
and yeah, you saw it coming. Have you prepared an answer?
We can unfortunately not yet tell you an exact release date, but you don't have to wait much longer. In the coming weeks, we'll slowly unveil the secret of when it will actually come out.
So the
But
people
today
just
we can't yet.
need to follow THQ social media
Just
or
wait a
Purple
little
Lamps.
longer. Yes.
So
We
just
know we've been testing your patience. You're all very eagerly awaiting this wonderful game.
yeah,
Just a little longer, and then yeah.
a little
Yes.
longer.
But very soon. Very soon.
Yeah, and like you said, just follow the social media accounts of THQ, of Purple Lamp, and you will soon know the release date. Because many of you are looking forward to it. To be honest, I already told the chat that when I was first here at the THQ booth, 2019, and we had the now older SpongeBob game there, I didn't know that the fan base was so gigantic. To be honest, the speedrunning community is really big, and you've got many people to please. To be honest, how hard is the difference? How hard is it to please both groups, the speedrunning community and the more like younger player base? Is that something you think about a lot while developing?
We indeed do. I mean, for us, what was the most important thing when we started working on the Cosmic Shake, and while working on the Cosmic Shake, was definitely bringing the fan service to the people, giving them the experience that they're looking for when playing a SpongeBob game. What is fun, having the references to the episodes from the original series, having the original voice cast. It's a very big thing that we actually also have in the game. So the current cast has voiced the whole game in English, German. We got Spanish, we got Polish, Japanese is in there.
Awesome.
A couple more languages will be fully voiced in the game.
I'm a big fan of Clancy Brown, by the way.
There you go.
Yes, and in this game, yes, I know one of the big questions. Yes, it's Clancy Brown. Yes, it's the real voice of Mr. Krabs in our English version. The game is compared to Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. It's a completely new game. It's a completely new story. It is a spiritual successor, of course, to Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Same team, same big group of SpongeBob fans behind it, and we did want to take the best that we've learned from recreating SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and then have a new vision, have a new kind of game and story to show to people. Coming back to your question about the speedrunners and the children, one of our big focuses definitely was to make sure that the game can be enjoyed by children and to kind of learn from Rehydrated of what are the things that are confusing to them that we take for granted and stuff like this. So that did influence, like we did tests and with children, showed them the game and said like, okay, what do you like, what do you not like, or did you find your way and stuff like this. And it was mainly about player guidance and about like, okay, how do they find their way about. But other than that, yeah, as AJ said, we mainly think about, you know, SpongeBob fans, as we all are massive, incredible SpongeBob fans. We just think about like basically what do we want to have in there and what do you want to do, what do you want to be able to play. That's how, for example, the costumes came in there. You've had them in the SpongeBob movie game to a degree, so we've also looked at the old games and see like, okay, what was great on all the previous SpongeBob games. And costumes was a big thing immediately. Like you want to run around in the cowboy costume, want to run around in the prehistoric as Spongegar and all these kind of things. So the game has like 30 plus costumes for everybody.
I was just about to ask,
Yeah. So these are like primarily we start from the point of view like, okay, SpongeBob. What's like the SpongeBobiest thing we can cram in, and then try to get in as much as possible.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite costume?
I have a couple of them. Like there is, I love prehistoric Sponge.
Yeah.
Like we're both big fans of the prehistoric episodes. Like there's a level prehistoric kelp forest in the game, which is also both of basically our favorite level. And there you can run around either as Spongegar or as prehistoric Sponge. So never confuse them. SpongeBob.
What's the difference?
Prehistoric Sponge is from a very early episode, and Spongegar is a little later in time, and you can differentiate them by their clothing. One has like more like a kind of leopard skin thing, and the other just has a loincloth and like kind of vampire teeth and stuff like this. There's one costume that I personally very much like is where you can run around as SpongeBob looking like the Dutchman, the Flying Dutchman.
Oh,
because
really?
the Flying Dutchman is my ultimate favorite character.
Not only yours, Mark.
There's most of the kind of costumes are taken directly from the series.
Yeah.
You know, like the Opposite Day or stuff like this. And then other costumes are unique to the game. We have these jelly enemies in the game because basically to give you a brief rundown of the story, SpongeBob and Patrick got a vial of mermaid tears that have magical powers, but as usual they kind of overdid it. They used them too much, and they created these wish worlds. So they wished too much for pretty things and for the best things for their friends, and created these parallel kind of worlds, wish worlds, that are themed according to Wild West jellyfish fields or prehistoric kelp forest. And then they have to go there to save their friends. And each of these kind of also, you know, you get a costume that kind of fits that place. For you get the Wild West costume, then you can go to Wild West jellyfish fields. But we didn't want to limit players because we know, some children want to run around as a pirate in the Wild West. That's just your thing. And so you can then switch the costume, but they unlock the different levels, and then you can play through them.
Okay, so visiting all these different places, all these different wish worlds, will be a big part of the game.
Exactly, like that's the game is a little bit more story driven than Rehydrated, so it kind of leads you through these worlds, through these different worlds, and then whenever you finish the world, you can go back later when you've earned more skills, and then do like revisiting quests, do a little bit more challenges here. Like if you've learned to ride the seahorse, you can go back to an earlier level and ride the seahorse there.
So you need to backtrack in order to fully play everything out of the levels.
If you really want to collect all the costumes, want to see all the things that are there in the game, then you have to go and revisit all the levels.
Okay.
If you don't, you can just focus on the story. It has a way more cutscenes than Rehydrated. It's a bit more story focused overall, but mainly it's a good old 3D platformer and with a lot of verticality, a lot of different kind of jumping skills. He has again quite a few basically combat skills, as much as you can call it combat in something like this. But all the skills that he has are actually traversal combat. So basically you've got a karate kick that sends you flying into the enemy, but you can also use that to traverse. So So battle is always about movement in Cosmic Shake. That was they are from the very beginning kind of that idea. So you have a pizza box to glide around and all these kind of things. So that was very crucial from the very beginning, that if there's combat, it's always like very dynamic. It's movement. It's basically, you're not, it's not about fighting as such. It's about going on, and then the enemies are just basically another way of moving through the level, basically.
Awesome. Yeah, you described a lot of gameplay elements. You described a lot of things we're going to see in SpongeBob costumes, worlds, the voice acting we will hear, of course. Let's take a look at the gameplay trailer, the showcase trailer we got from you, to give the audience at home a short insight about or on what we're looking at and what we'll be playing soon, once our tech guys are ready.
Love you, AJ.
And then we can also answer some more questions of you. So guys, how did you like it? Just let us know in chat what you think of this trailer and of the gameplay that was shown during the trailer. We saw a hell of a lot during the trailer. Yeah. Lots of these worlds, lots of these characters we all know and love. And some questions came up in the chat. I think we need to address those.
Like, loving the music. I think that's a good thing to kind of, by Mr. Ohydro.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Ohydro. Basically, the music was written, like we have the score of the actual game, which was written by Hacienda Post, who are the guys behind also the score of Battle for Bikini Bottom. So this score was very much loved by people of the fans, and we said, like, so we want to approach the same composers to do a completely new score, and they made these themed music for every world, so that every world has, like, the Wild West level has this kind of distinct Mel Brooksian kind of a Wild West sound to it. On top of that, though, we also brought in a lot of tracks from the actual series.
Some fan favorites.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, as you walk around the world, if you approach the saloon, you'll hear the saloon music that you know from the Wild West episode and stuff like this. So if you walk around the Pirates level, so that's Pirate Goo Lagoon, and you'll hear like little rake horn, the hornpipe and stuff like this. So rake hornpipe. So all these little tunes that you know from the beginning of episodes, or if you heard in an episode. So I think that is another nice layer to the kind of music experience when you kind of like, oh, I know this. So it's quite fun in the game.
Awesome. Andreas, let me ask you a quick question, because someone asked, Raintech asked, how much freedom did you guys have creating the story? And maybe the game as well, so how did that go?
Well, the interesting part was when we started working on the Cosmic Shake. Of course, we knew what we want to create here is a very story-driven experience. So the story is what we really focused on, making it as fun as possible. Also honoring the good old Steve Hillenburg humor, which is so widely loved by people, and of course also by us. So as Martin said also before, it's what we try to create here is give people a lot of references to the original, as much as fan service as we can actually do. So as I described it to some people on the show already, is when you play the game, you will have a lot of these Leonardo DiCaprio meme moments where like, I remember that one. That's the episode. Yeah. So when it comes to the story itself, it is a very narrative and driven game. It's very long. We have a ton of cutscenes that have been all of them, of course, voiced and animated. And yeah, well, we approached Nickelodeon with the story.
Yeah, exactly. Like from the point of freedom, obviously, we have a very good relationship with the guys at Nickelodeon, guys and girls who help us with everything, and they know the franchise better than anybody on the world. And we've been lucky enough for Cosmic Shake. We had a writing team, but we also had access to the lead writer, the current lead writer of the series. So who's currently leading all the new seasons of SpongeBob. So he was there on the project as a script editor, and another writer from the show was also there to polish up the dialogues, add more jokes and stuff like this. Because apart from just being a bit more narrative focused in general, the key thing we wanted to bring in, which I think relates to one of the questions, is Patrick a playable character? We do not have various playable characters in this game. It's all focused on SpongeBob, but there's always, like, with all the wishing, Patrick has been turned into a little balloon, into this kind of cute little balloon who flies around with you.
And he's always with you. We just saw that in the gameplay,
exactly.
in the
Like
cutscenes.
He's your permanent companion.
Yeah.
And the idea was we wanted to have this this kind of buddy banter, this buddy comedy thing that you have in the series. Like a lot of episodes in the series are just about these two characters doing something funny, doing something stupid, talking stupid things. I have to watch my language. And that we've never had in a game like this. So we wanted to have that even if you play alone, you have Patrick with you, and they just talk and they make jokes and they ask each other stupid questions and then give even more stupid answers, and that just, you know, it carries you through the game in a whole different way. You have this kind of old school platforming gameplay with a lot of verticality, but then you have all this kind of buddy banter in between, and for that it was great to have access to these riders that can polish up the jokes and kind of bring even more jokes in and all this kind of stuff. So it's a very, very funny experience.
That I think we can also add here for Patrick himself. It's not only the bantering that you have, he also has a function. He is also a feature. He's helping you. So for example, if you drop down something from a ledge, Patrick will be the one that brings you back up. If you're low on health, Patrick will come in, drop some pants for you so that it can add up more health. So he's always there. He's your buddy that actually
brings
supports
you new
you.
underpants,
I need a
which
Patrick
is,
in my life.
a best friend should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need my own Patrick.
all
And we all need people that bring us underpants.
We should. Guys, can we
Don't
get
take
on
this
that?
quote out of context.
Can we get some underpants, please? You just talked about Patrick and his important role, SpongeBob's role. We saw a bit of Squidward in the trailer.
Yes.
How big of a role will the other characters play? Are they just cameos, or will you be able to interact a lot with them?
They are, first of all, they're always, like in Rehydrated, they are the quest givers, basically. They are, of course, part of the story. They are the ones that you go to look for in the Wish Worlds. So compared to Rehydrated, they're a little bit more involved in the story. So you meet them a little more often. They, and there's two versions of them. So you either have the real Squidward who got kind of torn into the prehistoric level and you need to save him, or you've got the actual medieval Squidward that doesn't know SpongeBob. Like, you meet him in the medieval world and he thinks he is a medieval character, and he reacts as if he's from that world. So that also gave the writers a lot of room to play around and experiment with. Okay, this character we want. We just want Pearl to just be an actual prehistoric character from the prehistoric world. So you meet them in different ways. And just like with Rehydrated, because that's something I think that worked very well for that game, for this very, very beloved game, is that each level has kind of its own little story. So you have this overarching story of SpongeBob and Patrick wanting to repair Bikini Bottom after they destroyed it. But each level has its own little micro story. So you go to the karate downtown Bikini Bottom level, and there it's about a kind of Wish World Squidward who doesn't know SpongeBob, but he's doing this karate movie. Like, he's doing a low-budget karate movie, and he's this auteur. He wants to have this perfect movie, and then you have this themed kind of world that is all about SpongeBob being the hero in a fictional karate movie. And so, like this, every world has its own little story, and that was, again, for us important to kind of reflect the episodic nature of the series itself, but also just give us a lot of freedom to have fun. And we were lucky enough that Nickelodeon was super supportive, gave us a lot of freedom. Their writers were super supportive. They were always just looking for the funniest thing to do and never trying to keep us from doing anything. Like, they just wanted to make sure we stay faithful to the series. They know the series best, but they were always there to help us make it even funnier, make it and more SpongeBob-y.
Yeah, it's also the feedback that we got from them, from whatever we showed to them. They saw we also at Purple we live the brand itself, and we all love SpongeBob ourselves. We know what the people want on there because it's what we also want for the people out there, and also for us. So to
we all just want an excuse to keep watching SpongeBob every day and pretending it's work. Like, that's all we're doing here. Like, we're just trying to have an excuse to tell out, like, I'm sorry, I need to work. Like, there's 2 seasons, I have to watch these 2 seasons.
Awesome. It's always nice to see having such a good relationship between the devs and the game, and Nickelodeon and the devs
And the publisher.
and the publisher and
yes.
so on. All of you have such
Feel
such
the
a
love.
good relationship, and that I think that reflects in the game as well. What I've seen, at least.
I think that's what SpongeBob does. Yeah.
Yeah, it brings people together.
It brings people together. We're all SpongeBobbers. We're all Patricks a little bit.
Oh.
And we're like, yeah.
Speaking
the rainbow
of that,
Sorry?
if you were a SpongeBob character, a character in the world of Bikini Bottom under the sea, what character would you like the most to be, and what character is most likely to you?
Well, the character I would most likely to be is definitely Gary.
Okay,
Because
why?
Because being a snail cat, I mean, cats live the best life. And
Of course, yeah, of course.
And I always love him. Whenever he goes meow, it's just hilarious. But the character that I'm actually am, more or less, I think it comes with the project management part, is more in the direction of Squidward, maybe? No, it's
Is
actually...
that so?
No, it's not true. It's Plankton.
it's
It's Plankton.
So working with you is a blast.
Basically,
Definitely.
but every grown-up kind of pretends like, or everybody says like, yeah, I really like. There's always a day in your life where you think like, I feel like Squidward today. Like,
Yeah,
if,
true.
you know, there's always a day in your life where you think like, oh god, today I feel like Squidward.
Some people more often, some people less
Yeah.
often.
Hopefully, there's also a lot of days where you just feel like SpongeBob, and some days you feel like the Flying Dutchman.
And that's your favorite, like you established. Does he play a big role in the game? Can you say that?
He plays a big role in the Pirates Goo Lagoon, of course.
Oh, of course,
Yes.
yeah.
And in
He's also the
Halloween,
quest giver.
and in Halloween Rock Bottom, he also appears here and there. So yeah, he appears where it makes sense, where you think like, well, obviously the Flying Dutchman will be here.
Awesome.
It's the Flying Dutchman.
So we continue the list with references to the series, giving the main characters that the people love out there, giving them the room in the game to be there also with the player, to interact with them, have fun and enjoy.
And I suppose there are a hell of a lot of Easter eggs to discover, aren't they?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I meant with these moments. They're gonna be in there.
Is there one especially that you're most looking forward to for people to find?
Well, if we spoil
Yes,
it,
but
then
I won't. Yeah, we won't
Ah.
tell. But Definitely
I
not.
thought I could
name the
tickle a
secret
spoiler
that you
out of
want
you.
them to find. No.
Sad. Sad. Guys, if you have any other questions, any more questions, then just ask them in chat right now, while I ask my very last question, I guess, to you, and that is, you talked about all the different Wish worlds: prehistoric, Western, medieval, the lagoon with the Flying Dutchman, other karate. Are there any worlds you would have loved to do, but they may be scrapped until a expansion or
There
something?
have been some ideas, but we won't tell them because potentially we might still get the chance to use them.
Yeah. We obviously hope that the Cosmic Shake will kind of release to the same kind of flood of love that we got for Bikini Bottom and Rehydrated. We know it's large, kind of, what do you say, footsteps to fill.
Yeah.
But we think it's a very worthy successor. It's a little bit different than Rehydrated. We wanted it to have its own identity, but I think it's still, just like Rehydrated gave you just like this, yes, SpongeBob front and center. I think we've nailed that again with Cosmic Shake, that it's the SpongeBobiest experience you'll get out there, and I hope people will love it as much as Rehydrated. The crew, both the speedrunning community and the normal fans, like everybody's been so supportive. The first game came out right in the middle of the pandemic, which was of course, or in the start of the pandemic, which was a big challenge for the team, big challenge for us. And then it was, rehydrating. It was reinvigorating to see like people say like, finally in this kind of, don't give me zombie apocalypses all the time. Give me something funny, something uplifting, and that kind of lifted us up as well. And we just hope that we are able to achieve the same thing with Cosmic Shake again. And then if the success kind of merits it, and if it resonates well, that hopefully we can continue this journey and continue pretending it's work if we watch SpongeBob. In home office, it's even harder with your kids come in and you're like, you said you're working, you're just watching SpongeBob, and it's like, this is my work.
Oh, they must love that you work on that game. Are they big SpongeBob fans as well?
Yes, I think my children think that SpongeBob is real, which we
And
have
it's
in
made
common.
by you.
No, that they know. Like they know. I pray to Stephen Hillenburg regularly. No, but they love SpongeBob. Yeah, they have.
Did they have
all
a
the
choice?
collector's editions, all this kind of stuff. They get all the little toys.
Yeah.
And they would have had a choice, but it's a character that children just naturally gravitate
Yeah.
to, and they love it. Like my house is full of nerd stuff, and they went straight for there's all these kind of different SpongeBobs in different costumes. So yeah, SpongeBob
Awesome.
just has a magical draw to them. Even
Yeah.
though my little son calls him Pompatats. Because in German it's SpongeBob Schwammkopf, and for some reason to him this is Pompatats.
Well, it's if it makes him happy.
I know this is not the most important information about this game, but
But
there
we
you go.
now we know.
I just miss my children.
Yeah, I see that. Gamescom will go on for a bit. I'm terribly sorry,
That's okay.
but I hope your development doesn't go on for a much longer bit, because people are looking forward to the game. It looks really good, and I think you're on the best way to get a successor, a successful successor to the previous game.
We can definitely say that in the coming weeks and months there will be more and more gameplay and more little teasers and views into the game, and then the release window and so on and so forth. All the things that people have been waiting for and rightfully are demanding from us. And yeah, then we're just looking forward to seeing it come out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and the Nintendo Switch.
Awesome.
And yeah, then we'll
And
just
to all
hope
the
we'll get to
people-
talk to you guys even more.
To all the people out there, yes, we are at Purple Lamp. We're looking at the comments under the trailers. We really love all the love that we get from out there. It's what we call positive pressure. It's what motivates us, giving our love into the game back to you. Please keep commenting and let us know how much you love it and what you want.
Yeah, what he says. So, if you've got any feedback, put it under the videos in the comments below. And if you want to know more what comes in the next months or so, when the release date will be and so on, just check out and follow all of the social media from THQ Nordic, from Purple Lamp, and you will definitely know more about SpongeBob in the next months. Thank you very much for being here, for joining me.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure as well, yeah. And
Which is
we'll
the count,
see
which I-
more from each other here on the THQ Nordic live stream in about an hour, because we
have
go
to do the
for a
Cosmic
break
Shake
now, do the Cosmic Shake, and we'll be back in 1 hour with, I think, Outcast 2. So if
There you
you're
go.
looking forward to that, just come back in 1 hour. Until then, see you later, guys.